Arya and Ethan had been married for 5 years, and I was convinced he loved me beyond measure. But when his mistress and I were both trapped in an elevator, he chose to save her first. He simply said his mistress was timid and asked me to be more understanding. Yet, after his mistress was rescued, she feigned fear and pressed the already malfunctioning elevator button. The elevator then plummeted, sending me crashing into a chasm, losing 2 lives, mother and unborn child. Reborn into this life, I immediately pulled out a small knife and held it to his mistress's throat. This time, my destiny would be my own. After being rescued, I left to get an abortion and file for divorce. Now, he regretted it, pleading me not to leave him. Before we continue, please subscribe to this channel and tell us in the comments where you're listening from. Chloe. Arya. Are you two alright? Just as I expected, Ethan's voice came precisely 5 minutes later, but he called out to his mistress first. I should have realized sooner, this was his code word for abandoning me, yet I foolishly thought he was coming to save me. Ethan. I'm so scared. I didn't rush to answer, but Chloe was impatient. She immediately put on a terrified facade. Don't be scared. I'll have them rescue you right away. Ethan's voice was incredibly gentle as he eagerly waved to the rescue team arriving behind him. Only saving you, not me. I looked up at Ethan, still feeling a strange sense of unreality. Can love truly be faked? It seemed I had underestimated Ethan's depravity. Only after comforting Chloe did he remember I was still there. Then he spoke with a troubled tone. Arya, Chloe is timid. How about you let her come up first? Humph. Let go up first. I sneered inwardly. I never knew before, but not long after my death, I understood his intention. If went up first, even if she didn't recklessly press the elevator button, I would still plummet due to the loss of balance. They had always planned for both outcome. Yes. As long as I died, they could be together openly, and Ethan could claim my accidental death insurance payout. Why should I? Ethan, are you even human? I'm pregnant. You won't save your wife, but you'll save her? I roared up at him, my voice filled with resentment. He clearly hadn't expected me to refuse, and a few drops of sweat trickled down his forehead. I don't mean not to save you. I'm just saying Chloe is younger than you, and it's easier to get her up from her side. She's also timid. Wouldn't it be better if you just let her go first? He furrowed his brows, explaining frantically, which only further exposed his ambition. Boo-hoo. Yes, sister, please listen to Ethan. He loves you so much, he definitely wouldn't abandon you. Chloe quickly squeezed out tears, adding fuel to the fire. Heh. Trying to fool me, thinking I don't understand, are you? Sorry. I had already seen through the entire elevator structure. Pulling me up first was absolutely safer than pulling Chloe, because she was currently at a pivot point and wouldn't fall for a while. So, without hesitation, I quickly pulled Chloe in front of me, pulled out the small knife from my bag, and pressed it against her throat. Save me first, I commanded, my eyes dark. Otherwise, I'll make sure she accompanies me to the grave. As I said this, I deliberately took a few steps towards the already tilted edge of the elevator. Ethan, save me, Ethan. I'm so scared. Chloe's legs turned to jelly, and she desperately looked to Ethan for help. Even though I was pregnant, my pregnancy was still early, and I regularly exercised. So, subduing Chloe was easier than catching a kitten. Ethan completely panicked, his lips trembling as he pleaded with me. Arya, please don't do this, okay? Let go of Chloe. They'll rescue her and then pull you up quickly. He tentatively tried to negotiate with me, his gaze never leaving Chloe. Ugh, boo-hoo-hoo, Chloe cried hysterically, causing sweat to continuously break T on Ethan's forehead. Humph, so this was the man who swore he'd love me for life. Hypocrite. Seeing the stalemate, the rescue personnel on the side urgently reminded, Mr. Ethan, we can rescue both at the same time. Are you kidding me? Ethan was clearly agitated. If you save both, who will guarantee safety? Chloe, no, what if Arya gets hurt? He frantically grabbed the rescue captain's collar, his eyes then filled with hatred as he looked at me. He looked as if he wanted to smash me to pieces. Yes, please. Chloe's lips trembled as she spoke. Sister, just let me go up first. TSK. Some people really want me dead. Are you part of the rescue team or is he? How, do you know more than him? Or are you just trying to get me killed? I chuckled softly, my eyes blazing with fury as I challenged him. I'm not. Ethan's voice was desperate, clearly the reaction of a guilty man. At the same time, his eyes, fixed on me, were brimming with intense hatred. Then hurry up and pull me up. Stop all this talk and no action. I couldn't be bothered to spare him another glance, and the hand holding the small knife pressed down a little harder. Blood quickly appeared on Chloe's throat. Terrified, she began screaming desperately, "Ah! Ethan, you can't save her first. What about the compensation money if you save her first? And didn't you say to save me first, and then after I was up, to make her fall? You can't go back on your word." Indeed, when people are scared, they blurt out anything, including their plan, which Chloe revealed completely at that moment. Everyone present exchanged glances, then stared at Ethan with wary eyes. Mr. Ethan, if her words are true, then you are attempting murder for insurance money, which is illegal. The captain's words were incredibly solemn, striking Ethan right to his core. What nonsense are you talking about? How could I possibly ask you to do such things? He stammered. Chloe is just too scared. Arya, don't take it. Oh heart. Immediately after, Ethan looked at me and added another sentence. Oh, really? So that's what you were planning. I couldn't be bothered to argue with him. I first pretended I had just learned of their intentions, looking up with feigned realization. Then, I pressed the small knife down further, nearly severing Chloe's carotid artery. I'll count to 3. If you don't pull me up, I'll let your old flame bleed a little. Having said that, I stared at him with burning eyes. Ethan dared not hesitate any longer and could only arrange for people to pull me up first. Only after grasping the rescue captain's hand did I reluctantly release Chloe, but I continued to threaten her with the small knife. Just as I was about to be pulled up, she suddenly stood on tiptoes and clung desperately to one of my legs. Come down and die with me. She stared at me with venomous eyes, then forcefully tried to drag me down. But her strength of a kitten was no match for me. I extended my other leg and kicked her head with my heel. The force was so great that she had to let go of me in pain. Then, I pretended to casually give her another kick. Wearing high heels, her body was already unbalanced, and she directly fell to the ground, unable to get up. The elevator instantly became precarious. Chloe. Ethan was drenched in sweat from anxiety, grabbing the nearby rescue captain and shouting, "Quick, save her. Arya, you wicked woman. Chloe has done nothing to you, why are you harming her?" Ethan grabbed the rescue captain with one hand and tried to pull at me, who had just been pulled up, with the other. Harmful intentions should not be harbored. Even if she falls today, it's her own doing. I haven't even said I'm going to push you down with her. I sneered, lifting my leg to kick away Ethan's outstretched hand. This treacherous pair had hurt me so terribly, merely scaring them a bit wasn't enough. If you care about her so much, why don't you jump down and save her yourself? In this, I looked at Ethan with a mocking tone. Chloe, who was about to plummet with the elevator below, seemed to get a sudden burst of energy and quickly chimed in, echoing my words. Yes, Ethan. Didn't you say you only loved me? Why did you save Arya first? I finally understand, you just can't let her go. You haven't had enough of sleeping with her and just wanted to sleep with me on the side. She lay on the ground, pointing at Ethan and yelling curses. All the rescue team members around listened, as if they had eaten bitter gourds, too stunned to speak. What kind of real-life reality TV drama was this? They had actually stumbled upon it. What nonsense are you talking about? Arya, don't listen to her lies. How could I be that kind of person? I only love you. Ethan was both shocked and enraged. He first pointed at Chloe in rebuttal, then rushed to pledge his loyalty to me. She's just young and naive, but he was unwilling to abandon Chloe, simultaneously proclaiming his loyalty to me and trying to excuse her. TSK, do you even believe that yourself? I didn't deny anything, merely asking back with disdain. I originally thought they were some kind of masterminds, but it turns out they were just two idiots who loved to tear each other apart. Fortunately, I had recorded their conversation, and the rescue team present were also witnesses. Besides getting a divorce, I would also get an abortion and claim the marital property that rightfully belonged to me. Ethan, you despicable man. How dare you say I'm talking nonsense? You were just with me in bed last night. Chloe was so furious that she took off her high heels and threw them up at him. She was about to say something even more scandalous, but he quickly cut her off. Shut up. Stop talking nonsense. Arya is the only one I love. What are you? His attempt at burying his head in the sand was decent, but unfortunately, the information Chloe blurted out was too much. Even if he intercepted her in time, it could and stop everyone from drawing deeper conclusions. Hearing this, I found it even more amusing. Ethan told me last night he was going to a business meeting that was more of a roll in the sheets, wasn't it? No wonder he didn't come home all night. It turns out he was too exhausted to return. He had to stay at Chloe's place. Alright, the audio evidence was sufficient. It was time for me to play the victim, just like Chloe. With that thought, I feigned weakness, leaning against the wall, my eyes welling up with tears as I said plaintively, I never imagined you were this kind of person, Ethan. I'm utterly disappointed in you. With that, I left without looking back, quietly waiting for Ethan to chase after me. He wouldn't dare let me leave alone, after all, a sure thing was slipping away. Besides, he still relied on my family. Without me, he wouldn't even have the qualification to talk business with anyone. Arya, don't go. I can explain. We have a child, please, just let me explain, okay? As I expected, Ethan chased after me in a panic, trying to grab my hand. Chloe heard the commotion below and was furious, throwing her other high heel upwards. But this time, the shoe didn't reach him, instead, it hit the only partially open elevator door. Thud, the door, struck by the high heel, slammed shut in an instant. Immediately, the elevator car malfunctioned and plunged. The rescue team didn't even have time to stop it. Chloe disappeared into the middle of the elevator shaft. Humph. Now, I couldn't be blamed, this was their own doing. In my previous life, she feigned madness and pressed the button, but in this life, I did nothing. Everything was her own fault. Chloe. The tremendous sound echoed in Ethan's ears. He stopped chasing me, turning back to fall to the ground, heartbroken and weeping. Arya. You wicked woman, I'm not done with you for killing Chloe. His weeping was interspersed with curses directed at me, clearly showing his heart clearly belonged to her. It seemed he loved Chloe the most, but for money, he had to compromise with me. What a greedy scumbag. I rolled my eyes. After leaving, I chose to take the stairs down. The shadow left by the elevator, both in my previous life and this one, was etched into my heart, impossible to erase. Even though there were other functioning elevators in the mall, I dared not use them. This was probably a case of once bitten, twice shy. Leaving the mall, I first took a taxi to the hospital to schedule an abortion, then contacted my private lawyer by phone. After sending him the saved audio recording, it was my turn for the abortion procedure. Because I was afraid of pain, I opted for a painless abortion this time. After lying on the operating table for 10 minutes, that unwanted tissue was removed. But I didn't let it become medical waste. Instead, I had the doctor preserve it and sent someone to package and deliver it to Ethan. He thought this thing could tie me down, unaware that before it was born, a fetus is merely considered an organ of the mother's body, and I could dispose of it as I pleased. After the surgery, I remained in the hospital for observation, because the doctor said I could only leave after ensuring I was fully recovered and free from complications. It was during this time that Ethan's phone call came in. As soon as I answered, I heard his furious roar from the other end. Arya, can you get any more vicious? That was our child, your own flesh and blood. Losing his mistress, and then losing the child, Ethan must have been suffering. But I wanted him to suffer. He dared to cheat and attempt murder for insurance money, so he had to face the potential consequences. I hadn't even called the police to arrest him directly. He should be kneeling and begging for forgiveness. So what? You slept with another woman. Isn't it only right that I get rid of the child? I retorted fearlessly, my attitude indifferent. Oh, right, remember to roll yourself over to City Hell tomorrow for the divorce, or I'll expose everything about you and Chloe. As if remembering something, I added this, my tone cool and detached. It was as if I were stating an irrelevant fact. He was choked by my words, only then remembering to plead, Arya, I was just saying that out of anger, please don't be mad. Where are you? Can I come find you? With that, he spoke to me, feigning compromise. No need. I have idiot phobia. I casually brushed a strand of hair behind my ear and hung up the phone. Then I blacklisted all of Ethan's contact information, including his family members. My goal was to ensure no one could bother me. Ring ring ring. Not long after hanging up the phone, my private lawyer called me back, stating that the divorce matters had been settled. The property division agreement had also been drafted, and he only needed to bring it for me to sign. Alright, come find me then. I responded briefly, hung up the phone, sent him my address, and then continued to rest on the hospital bed. Unexpectedly, when the lawyer arrived, he was accompanied by an uninvited guest. Eleanor, my mother-in-law. Although she wouldn't be for long, before the paperwork was finalized, I really couldn't deny her identity. I'm sorry, Ms. Arya, this old woman appeared out of nowhere and kept pestering me. The lawyer spoke with some difficulty. As soon as Eleanor saw me, she rushed to my hospital bed, crying, her old tears streaming down as she launched into a sudden, dramatic shift in demeanor. Arya, why are you so impulsive? That was your and Ethan's flesh and blood, you're a mother now. He only made a mistake that all men make. Why are you so petty, clinging to it endlessly? Those few sentences hit my ears with an explosive impact. A mother now, and a mistake all men make, what a load of garbage. I twitched my lips, pulled up my blanket, and pushed her aside, subtly gesturing to the lawyer to call security. Damn it, having a penis doesn't make you special. Does it? Cheating and attempting murder for insurance money could be forgiven, no wonder Ethan was like that. His mother was no good herself. As soon as security arrived, she cried even harder, throwing herself onto the ground and having a tantrum. Oh, quickly, someone help. They're bullying this old woman. My precious grandson, whom I so dearly wanted, has been killed by this wicked woman. Incredible, utterly shameless. I sat on the hospital bed, my worldview shattered once again. Hold on a moment. First of all, Ethan not only cheated, but he also conspired with his mistress to plan murder for insurance money and my assets. I motioned for the lawyer to present the evidence to her. That's right, madam, murder for insurance money is an extremely serious crime, punishable by up to death and a fine. Your son's actions constitute attempted murder for insurance money, and he will still face a sentence of 5 to 10 years in prison. The lawyer spoke with a serious tone, placing page after page of evidence before her, while also playing multiple audio recordings. What kind of bogus evidence is this? It's all nonsense. My son would never do such a thing, you wicked woman. She struggled to her feet, trying to rip up the evidence and smash the voice recorder. But the lawyer easily dodged her, and she lunged forward, hitting nothing, then continued to throw a tantrum on the floor. Not only killed my grandson, but also wants to put my son in prison. Someone, quick, come and judge this situation. Her voice gradually grew louder, and curious patients and their families gathered at the door to watch the spectacle. Whose daughter-in-law is so malicious? Oh, what a terrible sin. Some uninformed old ladies began to take sides, collectively helping Eleanor to accuse me. I wouldn't be so sure. This old woman started causing trouble as soon as she arrived. She doesn't seem like a good person either. The younger people were more rational, intending to investigate further before forming an opinion. The scene then split into two factions, each side arguing its point, and even the security guards struggled to maintain order. Just then, a figure suddenly burst through the crowd. Scene break, Ethan arrived. He rushed through the crowd, knelt by my hospital bed, and frantically kowtowed, crying as he did so. Arya, I beg you, please don't divorce me, okay? I know I made a mistake, I'll never dare to do it again. Well, it seemed this mother and son had already conspired. One came to my hospital room to cause trouble, while the other rushed to my bedside to kneel and beg for forgiveness. Their goal was to put me on the spot, and take advantage of the uninformed onlookers to force me to accept. How truly vicious, making her own husband kneel and beg for forgiveness. Exactly, exactly. Women nowadays are born into good fortune and don't appreciate it. Back in our day, where could we find such a good in-law family? A large group of old ladies pointed and gestured at me, their stance as if they were about to tear the entire hospital room apart. Get up. I covered my ears, trying to pull Ethan to his feet. But he wouldn't let me, moving a few steps further away to continue kneeling. I was disoriented by the scene, and the small wounds left by the surgery seemed to ache faintly. Ugh, I clutched my lower abdomen, sweating profusely from the pain. Seeing this, a glimmer of light appeared in Ethan's eyes, and he intended to come over and pull me up. But then I saw an unknown liquid on his fingertips. Just as he was about to touch me, an angry shout stopped him. My attending physician had arrived. Don't touch her. The doctor stepped forward, blocking my path. Who are you to her? Can't you see the patient is very weak right now? You, who are you? She's my wife, and I can't even touch her? Ethan nervously retracted his hand, glaring at the doctor, speaking with unjustified indignation. Is that how a husband behaves? The doctor was almost amused. When she came in for the abortion, I couldn't even talk her out of it, and you weren't even a ghost in sight the whole time. How dare you? The doctor's lips twitched. He firmly blocked Ethan, then used the intercom system to notify his colleagues to call the police. And what is that on your hand? She just had a miscarriage. Even if you want to touch her, you should at least wash your hands, shouldn't you? I leaned back against the hospital bed, my eyes somewhat unfocused, but I knew the doctor was helping me. Something was off about what was on Ethan's hand. He definitely wanted to take this opportunity to harm me. Ah, yes, my mistake, my mistake. He lost his previous confidence, responding with reluctant compromise. Then, he planned to go out and wash his hands, but as soon as he reached the door, he was apprehended by the police. "Sir, someone has reported you for suspected intentional poisoning. Please come with us to the police station for investigation." The police showed their identification and immediately took him away. Eleanor saw this, and stopped crying and making a scene. She quickly scrambled up and rushed to the door, telling the police to release him. "Officer, there must be a mistake. If you're going to arrest someone, you should arrest that woman. My son hasn't done anything wrong." She slapped her thigh, grabbing the police officer's arm, refusing to let them leave. "Unless it's already confirmed, we don't arrest people indiscriminately. Madam, please do not obstruct justice." The police explained to her sternly, implying that if she continued to resist, they would arrest her too. So she backed down, weakly stepping aside. After stammering a few words, she intended to chase after them. "There must be a misunderstanding." "Yes. It must be a misunderstanding," she yelled as she pursued them. After all, he was her precious son, she couldn't just abandon him. During this time, the doctor called someone to check on my condition. He also comforted me to prevent me from getting more agitated. The crowd of onlookers dispersed the moment the police arrived, fearing they might get implicated for just watching. The old women who had previously sided with Eleanor were long gone. This world is full of people who love to watch drama unfold, but are the quickest to flee when trouble actually strikes. Eleanor thought she could overpower me with that. It was simply a pipe dream. After a thorough examination confirmed I was fine, the doctor arranged for several nurses to stay with me. "If you have any issues, remember to tell me. I'll be busy now." He instructed me carefully, then turned and left the hospital room. I mumbled in response, then lay down and fell into a deep sleep. When I woke up, I saw my mom sitting by the hospital bed, watching over me. Seeing me awake, her face was filled with uncontrollable relief. "Sweetheart, you're finally awake. You had Mom so worried." She gripped my hand, almost in tears. "Thank goodness you're alright, otherwise I would have had someone tear down the Liu family's house," she said, wiping away tears with her other hand. When I asked, I learned that Ethan truly had attempted intentional poisoning. When he got to the police station, he initially tried to deny it. But the police simply showed him a stack of test results, all indicating chemical residue from poison on his fingers. And that type of poison, if it touched skin, could cause anything from severe skin ulceration to disfigurement. "Mom, I'm not only going to divorce him, but I'm also going to make sure he rots in jail. I'm taking back everything that belongs to me." My fingertips trembled as I clenched my fist, forcefully hitting the hospital bed. "Good, Mom supports you all the way." Diane nodded, pulling me into a tight embrace. "Your true support comes from your family, not a deceitful lover." After being safely discharged from the hospital, I hired a moving company to go to the house Ethan and I had previously shared. Everything here, including the house, I had bought before our marriage. At that time, I truly believed Ethan loved me, and I wanted to give him everything I had, but it turned out to be nothing more than a pipe dream. Listen up, the furniture and jewelry inside are all mine. Any miscellaneous items, just throw them out. I clapped my hands at the moving company employees who had arrived. "Yes, we understand." Their attitude was excellent. They immediately went inside to work after hearing my instructions. How ridiculous. I had spent so much money on Ethan, yet he was still an insatiable, ungrateful wretch. What are you doing?" Eleanor must have just returned from outside. Seeing so many people in the house, she immediately shrieked in a panic. "You can't move anything, you can't. This all belongs to my son." "Arya, you wicked woman, haven't you caused enough harm to our family?" She blocked the moving workers, trying to stop them, then cursed at me from the doorway. The movers ignored her, and she just kept following them around, yelling, "Ignore her. Keep moving. I have all the property deeds for this house. Let's see who dares to stop you." I crossed my arms and spoke sternly. "Ms. Eleanor, you're quite old now, and Ethan still isn't out of jail. Are you so eager to join him?" With that, I stepped into the house, raised my hand, and slapped her old face. "I've given your family too much leeway, which is why you now dare to walk all over me." "Ah," she screamed, quickly falling to the ground. "Oh, my old bones, if anything happens, none of you will get away with it." After falling, she still pointed at everyone present. "Not only am I not running, but I'm also going to make sure your son rots in jail." I wasn't falling for her act. I crouched down and tugged at her collar, warning her sternly. Only then did she seem afraid, quickly apologizing weakly. "Oh, we're all family. Arya, why are you so calculating?" She kept using the same old line, trying to pressure me with "we're all family." Not for long. My son and I are getting divorced soon. Stop putting on airs as a mother-in-law here. Saying this, I delivered another slap, leaving her speechless. Soon, the entire house was cleared, and her miscellaneous items, including her, were escorted out by the movers. These things were all bought by me, so even if she called the police, it would be useless. From here, I went to the police station to fill out a request to see Ethan. I couldn't let him delay me any longer, an early divorce was the priority. When he saw me, Ethan, who had been ashen-faced, became agitated. Arya, please believe me, okay? I truly never intended to harm you. His voice was muffled through the glass partition. The evidence is right there. You can tell that to the judge. I didn't even look up, casually pulling the divorce papers from my bag and handing them over. This was all my mom's idea. I didn't mean it, and I love you so much, Arya. Please don't be impulsive, okay? Please don't divorce me. I can't live without you. Towards the end, his voice automatically took on a crying tone. Oh? Is that what you call loving me? You love me, so you slept with Chloe, and you wanted to murder me for insurance money, I asked mockingly, stuffing all the intimate photos of him and Chloe through the window. Then you really do love me so much, and then there's your mom. You're over 30. Do you have no ability for independent thought? Shifting all the blame to others, I truly feel pathetic for her. A blade born from her own loins, stabbing her deepest. Enough talk, sign it. With that, I tapped on the window glass, my voice devoid of any warmth. As the saying goes, if you don't seek death, death won't find you. Ethan's current situation was all his own doing. Arya, don't you dare push your luck. Seeing I was unmoved, Ethan dropped the act entirely, shouting at me with a twisted, enraged face. Oh, really? Who's TR? Yuli pushing their luck here? I laughed in exasperation. So, according to you, you tried to kill me, and I should just unconditionally forgive you, right? If you're truly too cowardly to face what you've done, I suggest you find a hole to hide in and never come out. Then I retorted word for word, infuriating him to no end. You filthy bitch. He pointed at me and cursed. You've been slept with so much by me. I doubt anyone will want you after a divorce. With every word, his face contorted further, looking exactly like a mental patient escaped from a hospital. The system above the prison detected his emotional outburst, and the guards immediately warned him, 01183, watch your conduct. If you cause any more trouble, this visit will be immediately terminated. Every woman can live her own valuable life, not just have marriage as her only path. Scum like you, who can only gain a sense of existence by demeaning women, deserves nothing more than to rot in prison for the rest of your life. I stood up, looking down at him, then left the prison without looking back. Even if Ethan didn't sign, I had 1,000 ways to divorce him. He thought he was money, that everyone would be reluctant to let go. In reality, he was just vermin. What kind of trash dares to come shouting and raving at me? Ethan's criminal acts were confirmed, and prosecution was granted. On the day of the trial, I arrived on time, with all my evidence, and sat in the plaintiff's seat. He saw me and still couldn't stop his arrogant taunts. Arya, you bitch, just you wait. When I get out, I'll kill your whole family. I didn't respond, merely silently recording his words as evidence of threats and intimidation. Still so arrogant and overbearing. I think he truly wants to rot in jail. During the presentation of evidence, the lawyer submitted that recording along with documents detailing failed mediation. Ultimately, Ethan was deemed to show no remorse and to have a psychological tendency to threaten and intimidate the victim. He was given an additional 3 years for disturbing court order and disrupting due process. For multiple offenses, including the prior disorderly conduct at the hospital, he was sentenced to 15 years in prison in the first trial. But this was only the first instance verdict. He appealed, not only failing to get a reduced sentence but also escalating the situation by insulting the judge. The final result of the appeal was that he was sentenced to life imprisonment. Life imprisonment means no less than 30 years served. He was currently 32, so by the time he got out, he'd be over 50. I'd like to see how he could still cause trouble then. After his imprisonment, my divorce from him was officially pronounced. He was ordered to pay me 80,000 yuan in various damages, with no right to appeal. He should be satisfied now, not only in jail but also having to pay money, ha ha ha. Eleanor found out, was so enraged she went straight to the hospital, and died not long after. Afterward, I talked about this with Sarah, who exclaimed, deeply satisfying, that's right. A scumbag like that isn't worth 5 years of your youth. Come on, sweetie, let's go on a round-the-world trip now. Let's travel for a few months, and then worry about it. Men are just material things. she said, embracing me and proposing excitedly. Well said, money is the ultimate power. What are men? With a grand gesture, I immediately booked 2 tickets to Singapore. Our first stop on our world tour would begin there. It was time for me to let everything go and embrace a new life. Thank you for listening to today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with your friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments section. Feel free to share your opinions, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. See you next time.